All right, so something that though this is like the first video I'm probably gonna come out with, but something that I've like been thinking about recently is that, well, for context, it's like December right now, and I'm just like out, and I was in the car waiting for my great grandmother, who's recently been going through like some like health struggles, I guess, and my mom kind of left me in the car. So yesterday, which was a Sunday, I went to go see Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair for the re-release, and I got to see it in 70 millimeter. And it's a movie that when I was first getting into film, it was my introduction to Quentin Tarantino, and then after I got Pulp Fiction, and I think I got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood after, but this was my introduction to Quentin Tarantino. And I saw Volume 1 at first when I was getting, because I had heard like a lot of things about Volume 1. It was on HBO at the time, HBO Max. And then I saw Volume 2 months later, and I guess I didn't really give it much thought. Like, I thought it was good. I knew that it was like really overstimulating to show someone, like, I guess who at the time I didn't really get all the references and all the homage that Tarantino uses. So it was really overwhelming. And then I think I revisited Volume 1 like a year or two later. And yeah, it was just like, at the time I didn't really see the appreciation for it. Or, well, I don't know if I was like the biggest Tarantino fan, because that was really the first time like seeing him. And I think that, I guess I would say though, that despite that is the movie that you should get into you should get into Tarantino if you want to get into his work. Start with Kill Bill, but please watch Volume 1 and Volume 2 in like one piece. And this is the point that I kind of wanted to bring up, that Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, when you view them separately, after the screening I went to yesterday of The Whole Bloody Affair, I see it like so disrespectfully to watch it separately the way I did, where I saw Volume 1 and then I think like months or maybe even a year later, I went to go see Part 2. So, and I'm sorry like if I'm just kind of like all over the place, because I'm just like getting like, this isn't like with the script, and I'm really shooting this in my mom's car with like headphones, like my AirPods in. But it was just something I felt like I needed to talk about. I just, I really like, my opinion on Kill Bill has changed seeing it all in one like screening, like seeing both films in one. Because I think that looking back at it now that I've seen it as one film, like in its definitive version, the way that Tarantino wanted us to see it, I think this is Tarantino's magnum opus. And for the longest time, I was kind of torn, because I feel like Tarantino didn't have like a definitive masterpiece. I had always been, I've seen all his films except Hateful Eight and Jackie Brown, but I do want to get to those, like especially now with what I saw yesterday. I do think this is Tarantino's magnum opus. I think this is his best work. Well, if you see The Whole Bloody Affair, not like if you see it separately, Part 1 and 2. I think this is such a personal movie to him, and it became so personal to me. And my mind is still kind of scattered on what I think. It was for sure a long screening. I was there for like 4 hours, because, you know, obviously all they have that separates is the intermission. And I think they cut like that monologue that the bride has at the beginning of Volume 2, where she's like in the car and she's recapping. So yeah, I think that Tarantino is on his A game if you go see The Whole Bloody Affair. And I actually wanted to go see this screening, or well, I want to go see a screening with my mom, just because I think it's such a powerful work. And I just love the bride as like this female character. I think she works so well. And I'm not saying anything I think that original here, like this review, but I do want to like kind of, I guess the point is just to emphasize or add on to the discussion that there is right now, like about Tarantino. I know there's like the whole Paul Dano situation, but yeah, no, it's just like, I think that if you didn't really appreciate Kill Bill the first time, please go see it in this like what's it called, in this, not format, but I guess in this version, like the definitive version, The Whole Bloody Affair. It is, I think, one of my favorite films of all time now, and I know that might be due to like some recency bias. It is just so good. I heard this, I don't remember who was that said this, but they described Uma Thurman's character as a mix of Clint Eastwood and Bruce Lee in the Kill Bill films, or well, in Kill Bill. And I think that is the perfect way to describe her. She is just killing it in this role. I feel like I used to see her like, when I first saw Kill Bill, I saw her character and her performance as like not bad at all, but I saw it as a little bit cartoony. Now looking back at it in like one version, I saw so much, because you see part 1 and 2 and it's just like you see this character develop fully. And I think with the problem was that I saw like kind of left it at that cliffhanger, and then I saw part 2 as well. So you don't really like get the full sense of how much the bride develops and the whole journey. You don't get that until you see volume 1 and 2. But with this definitive version, with this definitive version, you do get that whole transformation of this character, and I think it's just so beautiful. There was a point near the end where I won't spoil it because I know some people probably haven't seen it, where I genuinely was almost brought to tears. And I really don't want to say the scene, but and I don't know if it's like, I can't really say like, oh, like you'll know what scene, because I feel like this movie has like a lot of emotional points, especially towards the end. So I can't say like, oh, it was like during you know what scene, but there was at a certain point where I wasn't even the biggest, like, to think I was never the biggest fan of the Kill Bill films, and now I was almost brought to tears watching it during volume 2, which was like, I preferred volume 1 over volume 2 just because I feel like it felt a lot more like not complete, I don't even know what the word to describe it is, but to think that I wasn't the biggest fan and that now is almost brought to, it's really beautiful. Say what you want to say about Tarantino, and I personally have some thoughts on like, you know, the whole Paul Dano thing and whatever, but I genuinely think, I hope Kill Bill, if I were to pick one work that he would be remembered for, it would be Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair specifically. I don't think just Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. I want him to be remembered for that work. That is his definitive masterpiece. It is a culmination of everything that he strives to be, and he is just on full, he is killing it, and it's just, it's great. Like, I wish I could say something more in depth about it, but like I said, I'm kind of putting this like rawly out there, just giving my ideas. Tarantino with this cemented himself as one of my favorite. I know obviously like when you're getting into film, he's like one of the first guys you look towards, but with this, he really cemented himself as one of my favorite directors of all time. Because, and I even did like a little ranking on my letterbox where I put Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, I put as one movie, because I think from now on I can only see Kill Bill as one movie. I refuse to see it as like two films. Fuck Harvey Weinstein for not letting us see it in one film. That's what I heard, that Harvey Weinstein apparently wanted this like, you know, in two films because no one was gonna sit through like a 4-hour film. But yeah, I just want to put out there, please go see Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. Genuinely one of the most beautiful things that I have ever seen. I just wanted to get my ideas out there, and yeah, that's really just it. I mean, I want to use this channel for like film stuff, but yeah.